Hello, beauties. It's Kim. We have a pretty straightforward class today, just a nice little flow to feel good. You may want to block. I'll have one next to my mat, but it's not required at all. When you're ready, pop on your mat and find a nice comfy child's pose. So remember, child's pose has tops of feet on the ground. Go ahead and find the little toenails all in connection with the earth. Connect to the heels. So sort of at kind of roughly where the hamstrings attach at the upper part of you connect to the glutes. Knees can be together or wide, whatever feels really good in your body. And then as we walk forward, keep that connection to the heels and let the spine curve. It's a child's spine. Let the forehead sort of begin to drip down to the earth. If it doesn't make it, stick a block or stack your hands under it. And start to breathe into the back body. Your choice where the arms go. There's not a right or wrong. If the arms are active, go ahead and relax them. Let them be heavy, and then inhale fully into the upper mid-back. And exhale completely. Inhale into the mid-back, just below that. Sighing it out. Inhale into sort of the upper low back. And release. And then inhale into the low back down by the sacrum. And then visualize the whole spine, all those little pieces, that big, gentle C curve. And inhale completely into the whole back body, letting the ribs expand, letting the spine lift and separate. When you exhale, just let it all spill out. Keep that really full breath. Walk the arms in front of you if you have not. Tent the fingers. Start to get active in the arms. Straighten through the elbows by activating the triceps. And then reach, tiptoe, finger, toe, tip finger. Tip finger further away from you. So walk the fingers further out for that extra length, not only in the elbow pits, but also in the armpits. As you do that, sink the ribs into yourself, into the back body. So we get that extra little openness through the armpits, through the shoulders. Still breathing all the way into the low back. And then we'll round ourselves up. So start to drag the fingers towards you as you take your C-curve spine into an arch, tucking the chin as well as beginning to scoop the tailbone under. Arching it from both sides. We'll sort of lift up onto the knees, rounding up still. Continuing to breathe into the back body. Whenever we've come up to standing on the shins, reconnect the tops of the feet into the earth, lengthen the tailbone down, and then circle sweep the arms up overhead. Feel free to create this tiny little back bend. And then cactus the arms, bend the elbows, drag the elbows down towards the waist, fire the glutes, open the front body a little more. And then let's dive down into tabletop. So re-extend the arms, Kali Mudra, tuck the chin. Just like your little kid at the edge of the swimming pool. You'll hit a limit here where you have to split the hands. But start with them together. Tuck the chin, start to dive and round down. Fire through the glutes, some still. When you need to, split the hands, let the fingertips land, and then set up your tabletop. Wrists just roughly under shoulders. Knees under hips. Begin to kind of move back and forth around through the wrists. As you do that, as you kind of begin to explore movement here, ground through the base of the pointer and the base of the thumb. Grab hold of the earth. Straighten the elbows, lift up out of the shoulders. Use the side body to do that so that we can find a little release in the neck. And then some cat-cow movement. So when it feels right, pull the heart open, send the tailbone up and back. Exhale, scoop and round. Inhale, pull open, let the shoulder blades drag down. Exhale, push and round, let the shoulder blades separate. Inhale, pull open, send the tailbone up and back. Exhale, push and round, scoop the tailbone under. And a couple more breaths here. If you would like to continue with cat-cow, please do. If you would like to bring in any barrel rolls, hip circles, sort of exaggerating your movements, being really aware of them and how they connect to your breath. Begin to make your way back to tabletop. So if you need to even something out or release something, do. Connect the hands to the earth. Lift up through the core. Connect the left hand down a bit more. Really straighten that elbow. Wrap the eye of the elbow forward. Lift up out of that shoulder. And then peel the right arm up for this little open twist. Check in with the hips. Square them roughly. Reach up through the right fingers towards the sky. Palm faces away from you. And then pulse the back of the hand back just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thread that right arm under the left. Thread the needle here just for a moment. Shoulder down, side of the head down. Lift up through the core to square the hips. 1 full breath. Reground that left hand. Peel yourself back open, twist. And then set the right hand back down from here. Wrap both eyes of the elbows forward. Ground into the fingertips. Peel the palms up. Core is engaged. And then place the palms down. Peel them up. Place them down. Pause. Release the neck. We're using these muscles here under the armpits. We're using the core. We're kind of using a little like internal magic. Once again, peel the palms up. How can you release the neck and shoulders and use internal magic? Palms down, peel them up. Palms down, peel them up. Palms down, peel them up. Palms down. Ground into the right hand, strong through that arm. Lift up out of the shoulder. Peel the left arm up. Level the hips. Reach up through the left fingertips. And then palm faces away from you. So now back of hand pulses backward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thread the needle. Left arm under right. Reach it away. Spill the shoulder, side of the head down. Re-level the hips by slightly lifting up through the core. Inhale into the upper back. Then exhale. Replant the right hand, lift yourself, reopen, and then left hand back to the earth. Walk the hands a little forward, setting up for downward dog. Tuck the toes. Get that length in the arms as we lift the sit bones up and back. And just take a few moments here. Pedal out the legs. Release the neck here. So the gaze is kind of roughly at the thighs. Maybe you shift the hips side to side. As you do that, think about the connection of the hands to the earth. Wrap the eyes and elbows forward. Lift up out of the armpits and gather the ribs in, just like we did in child's pose. Start to settle into a little stillness here, a little hollowing out of the core. It's okay to have a bend in the knees. And then pluck the right leg up. Keep it straight. All the little right toes face the earth, level hips. You're welcome to deeply bend the left knee, up to you. Now, keeping the right leg straight and strong, externally rotate from the hip, both hips. So peel that right hip open, peel the left hip open, and maybe we even lift that right leg a little higher. Now back to those neutral hips. Lower the leg. Let both hip points square towards the earth. Right toes square to the earth. Again, peel, open. Exhale, close and square. Inhale, peel, open. Exhale, close and square. And then again, peel, open. Close and square. Cheetah pose. Bend the right knee. Gather knee towards nose as we pull forward, open back of heart. Use the core. Re-extend three-legged dog. Exhale, cheetah, come forward, open back of heart. Push the earth away. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, cheetah, peel forward. Hold here. Fire the core. Push to the arms. Fire the legs. And then plank. Right foot next to left. Lower all the way onto the belly here. Untuck the toes. Press the pubic bone down. Peel the shoulders towards the waist, even as we lengthen the tailbone. Cobra pose. Tuck the toes. Press back through child's pose. And then downward facing dog. Find yourself. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back. All those little left toes face the earth. Right, we're squaring here. You're welcome to deeply bend the right knee. And then from here, open. So externally rotate the left hip and then let the right hip open as well. Left leg is straight and strong, and maybe it lifts a little bit higher. Exhale, re-square the hips. All the little left toes face the earth. Both hip points face the earth. Inhale, peel open. Exhale, square and close. Inhale, peel open. Exhale, square and close. Inhale, peel open. Exhale, square and close. Once more. Inhale, peel open. Exhale, square and close. All the toes face the earth. And then bend the right knee. Pull it in towards the nose as we slide the shoulders forward and push the earth away. Cheetah pose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, pull forward, straight arm strength, core strength, knee to nose. Three-legged dog. And then once more, cheetah pose. Hold it. See if the legs can fire, arms can fire, core can fire, side body can fire. Plank pose. Left toe step back, find plank. Lower all the way onto the belly. Untuck the toes, connect the pelvis to the earth. Peel the heart open. Drag the shoulders and the elbows towards each other. And then exhale, downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, use the cheetah to step the right foot between the hands. Dial the back heel down. Inhale, lift, warrior two. Nice deep bend in the right knee. Fire the left leg as well. Lengthen the tailbone, lift up through the core. Let the head float. Let the arms extend in both directions. Bring the left hand to the hip. Little balance here. So shift the weight. We'll leave the hips open. Shift the weight slightly forward. Reach forward with the right hand. If you need to pop a little bit, do. Spill the weight into the right leg. Fire the right glute. Connect the right foot to the earth. And then pluck up this left leg. So the hips sort of open. It's close to half moon bounce, but it's not exactly. Reach the right arm forward. Reach the left arm back. Plug that shoulder in. Now bring the left hand back to the hip. Now, just like we did earlier, close and square. Rotate so the hip points face the earth. Keep the little core engaged. And then bend the right knee deeply to send the left toes back. Sweep the arms overhead, crescent lunge, bend the left knee, lengthen the tailbone, cactus the arms, pull the heart open, and then re-extend the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, Kali Mudra, dive and round, not all the way, still staying in the lunge, but do dive and round. And then sweep yourself back up, crescent lunge, twist left arm forward, right arm back. Keep the twist, hinge forward, left fingertips to the earth, right arm reaches up. Within this, pull the right hip back, level the hips out, take a breath. Gaze at the earth, right hand to the earth. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Bend the knees, send the sit bones back, chair pose. You're welcome to reach forward or up or somewhere in between. And let's find a seat. So reach forward now as we lower the sit bones down and then plop them on the earth. Low belly fires, lift up out of the core, lift the legs. It's okay to have a bend in the knees here. Arms can go wherever is comfortable. Lift up through the crown of the head. And then bend the knees, soles of the feet to the earth. Bring the hands behind you. There's a few hand positions you can take. They can go back, sideways, or forward. But ground through the hands. Pluck the hips up. Fire the glutes a little. Drag the shoulder blades towards each other. Reverse tabletop. Gaze can be up or you can drop the head back. Lower the sit bones back down, cross the ankles, roll forward, plant the hands, step, step back, high plank, and then lower all the way onto the belly. Connect the pelvis to the earth, the pubic bone, untuck the toes, peel up head, neck, and shoulders, and legs. So we're active. Reach the arms behind you. Start palms down, shoulder blades towards each other, and then flip palms up. See how that changes things. Palms down, palms up. Palms down, palms up. Plant the palms, tuck the toes, push up and back, downward facing dog. One breath. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, use the cheetah shape to step to low lunge. Dial the back heel down. Lift up, warrior two. Nice deep bend in the left knee. Tailbone lengthens, crown of the head lengthens. Right leg is strong and the arms reach in two directions. Bring the right hand to the hip. Balance. So take your time here. Start to reach forward, shifting the weight into the left foot. If you need to hop this right foot a little closer in, that's fine. Spill the weight into the whole left leg, and as you do, fire the glute, fire the leg, connect the foot to the earth. Keep the hips open, pluck up the right leg. Connect to the core, reach the left arm forward, right arm back. Flying bird. Bring the right hand back to the hip, and we will square. So think about what we did earlier. Soften the left knee, rotate both hips. So both hip points face the earth and all the right toes face the earth. And then deep bend in the left knee, right toes go back and they land. Sweep the arms overhead, deep bend in the left knee, little bend in the right knee, lengthen the tailbone, crescent lunge. Cactus the arms, lift the heart up. Re-extend the arms overhead, Kali Mudra. Dive off the edge, so round the spine. We're still in crescent lunge, but we're just really rounding and diving down, whatever feels good and comfortable. And then roll, lift back up, crescent lunge. Add a twist over towards the, left arm back, right arm forward. Keep the twist, hinge forward, right hand or fingertips land on the earth, left arm reaches up. From here, pull the left hip back, hollow out the core, level the hips and rotate from the spine. Gaze down, left hand down, step the right foot forward, chair pose, bend the knees, sit bones back, fire the glutes, hollow out the core, gather the ribs in, you know all the things. And then down to your seat. So reach forward to help yourself counter as the tush plops down, and then find your Navasana, your chair pose. Connect to this really deep core, not only in the low belly, also in the side waist and the low back. Now fire the quads a bit more. All the way to the toes. Bend the knees, soles of the feet on the earth. Hands behind you, maybe you let them face a different direction. Pluck up the sit bones, fire the glutes, retract the shoulders, lift up through the hips and the heart. Sit bones back down to the earth. Cross the ankles whatever way feels weird. Roll forward onto the hands. Step back, high plank. Lower all the way onto the belly. Peel up cobra, pubic bone connects. From here, locust I mean. From here, so legs are up too. Reach the arms sort of forward and out like a big Y. Gaze can be down so we lengthen the back of the neck, and plung the shoulder blades into the back body. So we really fire down at the bottom of the scapula. Rotate the inner legs up. It's okay for the legs to be wide. Now cactus the arms. Now reach them back behind you. Reach them up at a big Y. Use the shoulder blade muscles, not the neck and upper traps. Cactus, reach back. Just one more. Big Y, cactus, reach back. Hands down, toes tuck, push up and back, downward facing dog. Let's go a little faster. It's really that simple though. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale, warrior two. Find the legs, find the feet. Reach forward. Flying burn, so you can take the left hand to the hip or not. Pluck up the left leg. Hips stay open here. Plug into core and legs. And then soften the right knee just enough to square the hips. Warrior three, any variation with the arms. Crescent lunge. Left toes land. Right knee bends, lift the torso. Cactus the arms, open the heart. Re-extend the arms overhead. Dive down round the spine. Re-lift the torso, upright twist. Left arm forward, right arm back, plug into core. Hinge that twist down, left hand to the mat, right arm up. Let's add just a small thing. Side plank. Left heel swivels down, pluck up the right leg, fire the left side body. Reach the right arm forward, lift higher through the hips. Pluck the right leg up, maybe bend the knee. Now gaze at the top of the mat. Come up on the left toes, sprinkle the right fingertips down. Use cheetah pose. Think about how the hips will rotate from open to square to step the right foot between the hands. Step the left foot forward, chair pose. Lower down onto the tush, Navasana, plug in a core. Ardha Navasana, low back connects, legs are strong, core is strong. Lift up Navasana, hands behind you, feet down, reverse tabletop, fire the glutes. Lower the sit bones, cross the ankles, roll forward into high plank. Lower all the way onto the belly, connect the pubic bone to the earth, peel up, locust pose. Reach the arms forward at a big Y, plug the shoulder blades, the bottom of the shoulder blades, into the back body. Reconnect the pubic bone, and then pulse the back of the hands towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3. Little tuck of the chin. 2, 1. Hands down, toes tuck. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, warrior two. Find it for a second. Feet and legs. Pelvis and spine. Reach forward, that balance. So right hand can go to the hip or not, but we leave the hips open as we pluck up the right leg for a flying bird and we connect to the core. And then warrior three, take your time, think about hip rotation. Bend the left knee as much as you need, rotate both hips towards neutral, and find your warrior three. Let the back of the heart really sort of float up, breathe into it. Crescent, bend the left knee, right toes, reach and sprinkle back. Lift the torso, find what the pelvis is up to, and then cactus the arms, lift the heart. Re-extend the arms, interlace hands, Kali Mudra. Tuck the chin, dive down. Really opening through the back body. You may even feel it in your lats. Re-lift the torso. Upright twist, right arm forward, left arm back. Hinge this twist down, right hand to the mat. Side plank. So connect the right hand, dial the right heel down, pluck up the left leg. Fire the right side body. Reach the left arm alongside the ear, lift the hips up, 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 up. And then maybe we pluck up this left leg and find like a floating tree variation, bend the knee. And then from here, lift the hips higher, come up on the right toes, left fingers sprinkle towards the earth, gaze at the top of the mat. Find cheetah, so rotate around in both hips, open back of heart, plant left hand, step the left foot between the hands. Step the right foot forward, chair pose, glutes fire, core fire, ribs knit in. And then lower down, Navasana, Ardha Navasana, Navasana. Reverse tabletop. Connect with the hands, the glutes. Retract the shoulders open. Sit bones back down. Crossed ankles the weird way. Roll forward. High plank. Lower onto the belly. Connect the pubic bone. Peel up locust of your choice. Any arm variation, spin the inner legs up towards the ceiling. Plant the hands, tuck the toes. Push up and back, downward dog. One more time through. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah to low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Pause. Reach forward, flying bird. So pluck up that left leg, hips stay open. Connect core, let the gaze be steady. Warrior three. Let those hips rotate around. Pay attention to them. Take your time. Let's pause here in warrior three. Refine it a little bit. Reach back through the left foot. Square the hips. Connect to the core. Float the back ribs. Crescent lunge. Big step back. Reach the arms overhead. Bend right knee. Little bend in left knee if you want it. Open the heart. Cactus the arms. Reach upward. From here, Kali Mudra, extend the arms only if you want, still opening the heart. And now, lift up, tuck the chin, dive and round forward. Keep lengthening the tailbone. You may find extra hip flexor length that way. Re-lift the torso upright, twist left arm forward, right arm back. Plug the right shoulder blade in. Hinge that twist, left hand to the earth, right arm up. Side plank, connect to the side body. Lift the hips higher using the left side body. Float this right leg with the knee bent. Option to bring the right hand to the earth or not. Push, push, push the earth away. Come up on the left toes. Step the right foot between the hands. The more you open the back of the heart, the more space you'll create for that. So through that low lunge, step the left foot forward. Chair pose for a hot minute. Hot second, really. I won't make you stay for a minute. Come back down onto the sit bones. Navasana. Ardha Navasana. Really connect with the front body. Navasana. Hands behind you, reverse tabletop. Choose your hand position and connect. And then lift the heart, lift the hips by engaging back body. Sit bones down, cross the ankles, high plank, lower it onto the belly, connect the pubic bone, peel up, into your back strengthener. So maybe the arms reach behind you, palms down or palms up. Spiral the inner legs up. Hands down, tuck the toes, push up and back, downward dog. Last time through. Last side of the last time. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale through cheetah pose to low lunge. Inhale, warrior two, find it. Reach, reach, reach forward. Remember, we'll stay open for our flying bird balance. Right leg comes up, connect to the core. Find that steady gaze. Warrior three. Take your time, allowing the hips to rotate, bending the left knee as much as you want, connecting the left foot to the earth. Any arm variation, and let's sort of pause here in Warrior three to refine it. Once we get square, lift that right leg a little higher. Let the back ribs float. Let the core sort of be the center of this pose. Bend the left knee, big, big step back. Crescent lunge. Cactus the arms, lift the heart. You can add that little bend in the right knee, of course, to lengthen the tailbone. Option in the heart opener to interlace the hands, Kali Mudra, and lift the heart, but make sure you're still deeply bending the left knee, firing the right glute. Tuck the chin, dive down. Keep that length in the tailbone here. Relift the torso up, upright twist. Plug the left shoulder blade in, square the hips. Hinge it forward. Right hand to the earth, left arm up. Side plank. Pluck up this left leg. Connect to the right side body. That side body engages more and more to lift you up. Float the left leg, maybe bend the knee. And then option left hand down or not. Come up on the right toes. Lift up out of the right shoulder. Open back a heart, connect to the core. Step the left foot up to the top of the mat. Find that low lunge for a moment. Step the right leg forward, chair pose. Navasana, so we lower the sit bones down and find it. And then let's hold Ardha Navasana here. No crazy core today, but we do want to connect. So lower down, and then instead of letting the core pop up, try to sink it down. So we connect not with the upper rectus only, but we connect down with the transverse abdominis, which is below the rectus. Ease in the shoulders, tuck the chin, lengthen the back of the neck. Tuck the chin back, not necessarily down, but back. Little cute double chin, triple chin action. Legs are strong. Hollow out that core again. So instead of bulging it up, sink it down to engage it. Good. Now lift back up. Navasana. Find it. Maybe the legs straighten a little bit more because you connect to the legs all the way to the feet. And then bend the knees, soles of the feet, hands behind you. Connect to the hands. Lift the hips. Let's hold this one for a moment. Fire the glutes a little bit more. Retract the shoulders a little bit more. They won't get terribly retracted, but kind of think about opening through the heart and the fronts of the shoulders. Lengthen the tailbone away from you. Gaze just goes wherever it's comfortable. From here, lower the sit bones down, cross the ankles the weird way, roll forward, hands down, step, step, step. High plank, probably just 2 steps, not 3. Lower onto the belly, connect the pubic bone. Now, you may repeat locust, any variation. I've given you a couple of them, but there are certainly more. Or if you would like, bend the knees, peel up head, neck, and shoulders. Reach back, grab either the insides or outsides of the feet. Connect the pubic bone down. As you do that, you'll already find this extra openness in the fronts of the thighs. Retract shoulders, kick feet into hands. Reconnect the pubic bone, peel up. The knees do not run away to the sides. They're roughly in line with the hips. Breathe. When you're done, simply release. Stack the palms, rest the forehead on them. One full breath into the back body. Back through a brief child's pose. Hands by the heart, press up and back. Tops of feet on the ground, sit bones connect to the heels. Not exactly the sit bones, but you get the idea. Bow forward, bow, bow, bow. Roll your way up, rounding through the spine. We'll take us into a reclined pigeon. That's a lie. I'll take us into pigeon. No, reclined. You know what? Let's forget the words. I'm jumbling them. Pigeon pose. If you would prefer supine or seated figure 4 variations, go for it. If you want your block in pigeon, grab it. You can also use blankets. Let's set it up from downward facing dog. Inhale, pluck the right leg up. Exhale through a light cheetah, and then externally rotate. Set that right knee just slightly outside of the right wrist. Not terribly far, but just a little bit. So potentially the right shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Do not worry about it if it's not. Lower the left knee, untuck the toes. Walk that foot a little further away from you. Look back and check that the ankle's not doing some creative move. And then if you're pretty open in the right hip, flex actively or gas pedal the right foot. If you're pretty bent in the right knee, you can tuck those toes if they sort of become under the body. Peel up the torso, pull the right hip back, lift up out of this for a second. And then sink straight back down, hinge forward. Get on the forearms, pull the right hip back, hollow out the core even here. That's going to get you that extra openness in the low back. Maybe you want to block under the right hip. Maybe you even want to block under the sternum. That really depends on your spinal anatomy. And if you would like, walk deeper into it. Release the forehead to the ground. Extend the arms overhead. There are quite a few arm variations. What I will cue is tenting the finger, walking them further forward, bringing them towards each other, and then re-release the elbows to the earth. Prayer with the hands and bend the elbows, lifting the hands either straight up towards the sky or down to the nape of the neck or somewhere in between. Again, breathing into the back body, into the right hip. Layer both exploration here with release. So don't just plop in and completely stop thinking about the pose yet. What happens if you pull the right hip back a little bit more? Or if you rotate the left inner leg up a little bit more? Or if you hollow out the core a little more, if you gather the ribs in a little bit more? Explore some of these subtle nuances. And maybe if you try one, then use an exhale or two to settle down into it. To not overthink it, but to feel and experience it. And then maybe you create another really subtle minor shift, explore something else new. And then give yourself the time to digest and experience it. If you're loving this, stay here longer. I'll begin To take us to the next little piece, walking the hands back by the heart, peel up the head and the chest. Drop the right sit bone down. If it's be very gentle. So think about how we have been letting the hips rotate. They're square. One of them is. Let it rotate open. Plug into the core. Swing this left leg all the way around to the top of the mat. So the right knee is still bent. Now bend the left knee. Sole the foot on the earth. Sprinkle the right fingers behind you. Reach up long, tall with the right arm. Left fingers behind you. And then twist to the left. Right elbow maybe goes outside of that thigh. Gaze can be anywhere you would like. Allow the right shoulder to come forward in space, but plug the left shoulder back. Maybe you even gather the ribs in a little bit more. Get your cute double chin and lengthen up through the crown of the head. Unfurl from here in order to get to downward facing dog. We'll shift the weight forward. See if you can do this with no hands. Shift the weight forward. Connect the left foot to the earth. Pluck up the tush. Use the legs. Press into the left leg, lift the hips. You can be on the top of the right foot, that's fine. Plant the hands, and now we step back, downward dog. Give yourself a moment. You can be still. You can move around. Not much more. We'll just repeat the other side, and then we'll close. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, pull forward through a light cheetah. So do keep pushing the earth away. Externally rotate the left hip. And then that left knee goes sort of behind the left wrist, but slightly outside of it. And that shin goes down. Drop the right knee down. Untuck those right toes. Walk a little further back. Now remember, that left shin, like maybe it goes parallel to the top of the mat. But if it doesn't, that's utterly fine. If it is maybe somewhere between 90 degrees and 45 degrees from the top of the mat, then flex or gas pedal the left foot. If it's pretty deeply bent, if it becomes a pretty acute angle, then you sort of point the left toes because they'll be under the body. Check in with that right ankle if you haven't. Walk the hands back. Lift the hips up out of this to lengthen the tailbone and square the hips for a moment. Connect. And then take this whole thing, sink it straight down and hinge forward. Start forearms on the mat. Pull the left hip back. Get that extra little length. Plug into the core some to open the lower back. And then from here, if you're using any sort of a prop, blankets, block, pillow, under the left hip, under the sternum, or anywhere else that calls you, set that up. And perhaps release a little closer to the earth. Maybe the forehead finds its way to the earth. The arms might walk overhead, so tent the fingers and walk them long, even as we plug the ribs in. And then melt the elbows to the earth. Bring the hands to prayer. Bend the elbows. You might need to scooch the elbows a little more away from you. And we'll find both a little bit of exploration and awareness, as well as a release here. So explore just a little bit of something. Pay attention. Maybe it's pulling the left hip back more, or spinning the right inner leg up more, or connecting to the core more, or the ribs. Some sort of subtle nuance. And then give yourself a cycle of breath or two to experience it, to surrender into it. And then perhaps you try a little something else, another nuance. What happens when you activate the left foot more? When you engage the left arch more? Or lift the inner ankle a bit more? Maybe the right hip point actually lifts further away from the earth to square the hips more. Or maybe it sinks closer down to the earth. My cues can only do so much. Each of our bodies are so magnificently different. And as you really make this practice your own, you can start exploring your own nuances, really getting intimate with yourself and finding what exactly works in your body, because it might be very different than what works in someone else's body. Embark on this self-discovery. I'll take us out of this. If you're enjoying, stay longer. Otherwise, walk the hands back. Peel up the upper body. And then be kind as we let the left hip find its way to the earth. So we can kind of lift and then rotate. Let that right hip start to rotate open. Plug into the core as we swing. Sweep this right leg out in front of us. Sit bones down. Bend the right knee. Sole the foot on the earth. Lift the left arm up, right hand behind you to support you, and then twist right. Maybe it's elbow outside of thigh. Left shoulder kind of goes forward in space, but right shoulder plugs in to encourage that twist. And even here, maybe we gather the ribs in, double chin, and lengthen through the back of the crown of the head. And then untwist. Shift the weight forward. Pluck up the tush. Connect with the right foot. Connect with the right leg. And then push to lift the sit bones. And this time, let's just step the left foot next to the right. On the same move we've been doing. Bend the knees deeply, lower the sit bones down. Maybe walk the feet a little more forward. Grab the backs of the thighs. And roll your way onto the back body. If you need a little something else, take it. Otherwise, begin to set yourself up for your savasana, for your stillness, for your practice of doing nothing. Sometimes the hardest part. Set up the physical body first, and then once it feels comfortable, close the eyes. Let yourself just watch the breath. In and out without control. Maybe begin to feel the subtle nuances of the breath, the sensation of it on the nostrils. The really, really subtle way it moves the rib cage. Allow yourself to just surrender to it doing its own thing. Allow yourself to take comfort in the fact that it continues even when you do nothing. Allow yourself to take comfort in the fact that the world keeps going, keeps doing, even if you pause and do nothing yourself. Stay here as long as you can, feeling safe, feeling assured. Feeling at ease with yourself and confident in your pause. As always, thank you, beauties, for joining. Peace for the body, peace for the mind, and peace for the spirit.